program. My program is Kitaniola.
Àwọn àmì tí wà ń kálẹ̀ àti àwọn àlejò wa ẹ jẹ́ kí apalọ́lọ́ ètò máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ kí Ọlọ́run ọba kó gbàdúrà wa.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You have introduction and recognition of dignity.
This is to recognize the presence of our dignitaries present here this morning. We have the Grand Qadi of Kwara State Court of Appeal, in person of Al-Hajj Esro Muhammad, Sharia Court of Appeal, Kwara State. You are welcome, sir. We have Al-Hajj Ahmadiyya from Cameroon, and the representative of the Jama'at from the Republic of Benin, Al-Hajj Abdul-Hafiz Haruna. We also have the former military governor of Ogun State, the first military governor of Ogun State, I think, who happens to be a member of this community, in person of retired Major General S.A. Balogun. When the Grand Qadi of the Sharia Court of Appeal was mentioned, the mic did not sound, and a lot of the members seated could not hear Salana. So I again call on the Grand Qadi to say Salama so that the entire populace should answer.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu.
نراهب بمجيئكم إلى هذه الحفلة.
We may comment. Do you have any other dignity you want to introduce as they come? Let us commence with the recitation from the Holy Quran by Hafiz Musliuddin of Ayemi Sahib.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا كونوا قوامين لله ولا يجرمنكم شنآن قوم على ألا تعدلوا اعدلوا هو أقرب للتقوى واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون وعد الله الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم مغفرة وأجر عظيم والذين كفروا وكذبوا بآياتنا أولئك أصحاب الجحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ هم قوم أن يبسطوا إليكم أيديهم فكف أيديهم عنكم واتقوا الله وعلى الله فليتوكل المؤمنون. Translation. In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful. O ye who believe, be steadfast in the cause of Allah, bearing witness in equity, and let not a people's enmity incite you to act otherwise than with justice. Be always just, that is nearer to righteousness. And fear Allah, surely Allah is aware of what you do. Allah has promised those who believe and do good deeds that they shall have forgiveness and a great reward. And as for those who disbelieve and reject our signs, they are the people of fire. O you who believe, remember Allah's favor upon you when a people intended to stretch out their hands against you, but He withheld their hands from you. And fear Allah, and on Allah should the believers rely. Quran chapter 5 verses 9 to 12. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi
wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Next is the chanting of Qasida in Arabic by Hafiz Ismail Balogun and Ustaz Nawar Ahmad.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. وهذه قصيدة عليقة رشيقة مملوءة من اللطائف الأدبية والفرائد العربية في مدح سيدي وسيد الثقلين خاتم النبيين الذي وصفه الله في الكتاب المبين. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه إلى يوم الدين، آمين. صلوا على محمد، صلوا عليه وأهله، صلوا على محمد، صلوا عليه وأهله، صلوا على محمد، صلوا عليه وآله، 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 صلوا على محمد، صلوا عليه وآله. بلد العلا بكماله، كشف الدجى بجماله، حسنت جميع خصاله، صلوا عليه وآله، صلوا على محمد، صلوا عليه وآله، صلوا على محمد، صلوا عليه وآله. يا قلبي يذكر أحمدا، عين الهدى مفني العدا، برا كريما محسنا، بهر العطايا والجدا، صلوا على محمد، صلوا عليه وآله، صلوا على محمد، صلوا عليه وآله. بدر منير زاهر في كل وقت، حمدا يسبي القلوب، يروي الصدى. صلوا على محمد، صلوا عليه وآله، صلوا على محمد، صلوا عليه وآله. الظالمون بظلمه قد كذبوه تمردا، والحق لا يسع الورى، إكراه لم أبدا. صلوا على محمد، صلوا عليه وآله، صلوا على محمد، صلوا عليه وآله. اطلب نذير كماله فستندمن ملددا ما إن رأينا مثله للنائمين مسهدا صلوا على محمد صلوا عليه وآله صلوا على محمد صلوا عليه وآله نور من الله الذي أحيا العلوم تجددها المصطفى والمجتبى والمقتدى والمجتدى صلوا على محمد صلوا عليه وآله صلوا على محمد صلوا عليه وآله جمعت مرابع الهدى في وبله حين الندى نسي الزمان رهامه من جود هذا المقتدى صلوا على محمد صلوا عليه وآله صلوا على محمد صلوا عليه وآله لله حمد ثم حمد قد عرفنا المقتدى هو ليلة القدر الذي تعطي نعيما مخلدا صلوا على محمد صلوا عليه وآله صلوا على محمد صلوا عليه وآله والله إني ما ضللت وما عدلت عن الهدى لكنني مذ لم أزل مما إذا هدي اهتدى صلوا على محمد صلوا عليه وآله صلوا على محمد صلوا عليه وآله صلوا على محمد صلوا عليه وآله صلوا على محمد صلوا عليه وآله. Translation. This is a poem composed by Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad alayhi salam in praise of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Oh my heart, remember Muhammad, who has been named Ahmad, the fountain of guidance, the expeller of enemies, an upright, generous benefactor, an ocean of gifts and bounties, an illuminating full moon which blossoms in all attributes. He occupies a praiseworthy position. His goodness enchants hearts, and his beauty moisturizes dryness. The transgressors have denied his truth with their transgression and arrogance, but the truth cannot be rejected by mankind when it appears in its full glory. Seek ye one who can match him in perfection. You will no doubt regret doing so. Indeed, We have never seen anyone like him who can revive sleeping souls. He is a light from Allah which has given life to all sciences. He is the elect, the chosen, the one to be emulated by the pace setters. The essence of guidance have all been gathered in the torrent of his glory when it is released. Time itself forgets its horizon with the glory. So Allah belongs praise after praise. We have known the leader who should be emulated. He is the knife of majesty which guarantees everlasting bliss. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Zindabad. Zindabad. Allah Akbar.
Introducing the dignitaries in our sitting here this morning, we have the representative of the Acting Permanent Secretary, Minister of Education of the State, in person of Al-Hajj Solanke Abdul Hakim.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi.
We also have the Chief Imam of Ilaro Land, Al-Hajj Tajuddin Adewumi.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi.
We have our in-house person, Honorable Abdurrahman Adebisi Yusuf of Lagos State House of Assembly, Chairman, House Committee on Transportation, Commerce and Industry. We have representing Radio Nigeria Paramount FM Abeokuta here, representing Al-Hajj Bola Muibi, the General Manager. We have Al-Hajj Abdul Qadir Onyilola. Also, we have the Chairman, Muslim Community Federal Poly, Ilaro, representing the Rector of Ilaro Polytechnic, Al-Hajj M.A. Yusuf.
We now listen to another poem of the Son of Islam rendered in Urdu by Muallim Ahmadiyya Dalil.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi.
Wo beshiva hamara jisse nur sara. Wo beshiva hamara जिससे नूर सारा नाम उसका है मोहम्मद दिलबर मेरा यही है नाम उसका है मोहम्मद दिलबर मेरा यही है सब पाक है पैगंबर एक दूसरे से बेहतर लिकजू खुदाई बरतर खैरुल वरा यही है, नाम उसका है मोहम्मद, दिलबर मेरा यही है। पहले चुरा में हारे पार उसने है उतारे, मैं जाऊं इसके बारे बस ना खुदा यही है। वो यार लामकानी वो बिलबरे निहानी, वो यार लामकानी वो बिलबरे निहानी, देखा है हमने उससे बस रानुमा यही है, नाम उसका है मोहम्मद, दिलबर मेरा यही है। वो आज शाहिदी है वो ताज मुरसली है, वो आज शाहिदी है वो ताज मुरसली है, वो तैयब अमी है उसकी सना यही है, नाम उसका है मोहम्मद, दिलबर मेरा यही है। उस नूर पर फिदा हूँ उसका ही मैं हुआ हूँ, वो है मैं चीज़ क्या हूँ बस फैसला यही है, नाम उसका है मोहम्मद, दिलबर मेरा यही है। वो दिलबर यगाना इल्म का है खजाना, वो दिलबर यगाना इल्म का है खजाना, बाकी है सब फसाना सच बेखता यही है, नाम उसका है मोहम्मद, दिलबर मेरा यही है। सब हमने उससे पाया शाहिद है तू खुदाया, वो जिसने हक को दिखाया वो मालका यही है, नाम उसका है मोहम्मद, दिलबर मेरा यही है। दिल में यही है हरदम तेरा सही पचूमूं, दिल में यही है हरदम तेरा सही पचूमूं, कुरान kegir de gumu Kaaba mera yahi hai naam uska hai Muhammad dilbar mera yahi hai wo peshwa hamara जिससे नूर सारा नाम उसका है मोहम्मद दिलबर मेरा यही है नाम उसका है मोहम्मद दिलबर मेरा यही है. Translation. That blessed and great leader from whom proceeds all the light, his name is Muhammad. And he alone is my friend, my dearest well-beloved. All the prophets are faultless and holy, each better than the other. But coming from the Lord God, the highest and the best among them all, without doubt, is Muhammad himself. He is better far than all have gone before, in excellence like the moon. Every discerning eye to him is turned, since he alone has the light and the splendor of the full moon. Those that had gone before from weariness, they collapsed on the way. He alone can steer across to the other shore. For him, let my life be sacrificed, for he alone is the captain and the master of the boat. He rolled aside the veils, had come to hang between, and he pointed out the inner way. He brings you into communion with the Lord God. He is the only one that best can help you in the achievement of the supreme aim and purpose of human life. The Lord God, who stands far beyond and above the limitations of time and space, the well-beloved himself, who remains invisible, under his guidance we have seen him with our own eyes. Muhammad today is the crowned king in the realms of religion, the chiefest, the jewel among all the prophets, the healthiest influence, the purest, the most comely, the most trustworthy, the most dependable. All the superlative praise befits Muhammad alone. Indeed, I'm sold entirely on this life, wholly and completely. I'm devoted to it. In my mind, in this respect, there are no reservations. He alone is the one that counts, while I, in myself, am absolutely to nothing. This alone is the basic truth. This alone is the final verdict. The only edge that moves me, the only desire that dominates my heart, that dominates my being, is that every moment of my life, I stand reverently kissing thy sacred book, the Holy Quran, in a transport of joy and devotion that I dance around it, since it is in truth my Kaaba, the most vital pivot of all my hopes, of all my aspirations. Muhammad Rasulullah.
Rí bàbá tí wọ́n kí ewì ẹ̀tàn sìn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ní ọmọ ìfẹ́ tí olùdásílẹ̀ ìjọ mùsùlùmí Ahmadiyya Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad alayhi salatu wasalam tí wọ́n ní sí aṣíwájú ẹ̀dá Ànábì Muhammad. Wọ́n wá kọ ewì yìí láti fi kí bàbá yìí, láti fi kì í. Wọ́n ní àníṣẹ́ tábà ní aṣíwájú, òun ní aṣíwájú wa. kò lórúkọ méjì òun ló ń jẹ́ Muhammad tó ń bá ní kí n wáyànfẹ́ Muhammad làyànfẹ́ mi. Gbogbo àwọn ànábì pátápátá ni wọ́n mọ́ kangakanga tí wọn ò lábùkù tí wọn ò lábà wọ́n, ṣùgbọ́n ta ló gba wájú nínú wọn tó kọjá Muhammad? Aláwọn òjíṣẹ́ tí ń wá lóríṣiríṣi, wọ́n lẹ́wà, ẹwà wọn pọ̀, ṣùgbọ́n kò sẹ́ni tó lẹ́wà tánàbí Muhammad. Tẹ́ ẹ bá ń wọ̀ rẹ̀ tí kìí tanni tí kìí kọ́ni láàrin àwọn èèyàn, Muhammad ní jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Tá a bá ti la fẹ́ lọ káàfin Elédùmarè, Muhammad la lè tọ̀ ká fi débẹ̀. Àwọn òjíṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run ọba joyè láyé wọ́n rí pòdìmú láàrin èèyàn, ṣùgbọ́n ta ló dádé gbogbo wọn? Muhammad ló dádé. Nípa ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀sìn, òun ló gbádé ẹ̀sìn lórí. Oríkìtì gbogbo wọn fún náà ní tọ́jìbò àmín. Àwọn oríkìtì wọn ti fún yìí, òun ló mú tó fi gbáwájú mọ́ gbogbo wọn lọ́wọ́. Tí n bá ní kí n wò ó, ní gbogbo ògbà, gbogbo nǹkan tí mo fi ń ṣọlá lénìí lára ìmọ́lẹ̀ Muhammad ni. Tábà níta ló ń jóun, Muhammad ló ń jóun, èmi ò jẹ́ nǹkan kan. Gbogbo ògbà ni máa wá sọ́kàn mi wípé àní tírà náà tó ń jẹ́ àlùkùránì kí n máa pọnlá, kí n máa kà á bí ẹni tó ń pọnlá bí oyin, kí n parí rẹ̀ nítorí tí n bá parí kùránì tí mo tún tu bẹ́ẹ̀ tí mo tún tu kà, lóòótọ́ Kàábà wà ní Mákà lọ́hùn tó jìnnà réré, ṣùgbọ́n Kàábà tó súnmọ́ mi ní kùránì ká fi hàn Muhammad. Ìwọ̀nba tí mo lè tú nínú nǹkan tí olùdásílẹ̀ ìjọ mùsùlùmí Ahmadiyya tó fi yin ọ̀gá àgbà aṣíwájú ẹ̀dá Ànábì Muhammad. Muhammadu Rasulullah.
Jazakumullahu khairan. We want to introduce some dignitaries that have just arrived.
We have the Permanent Secretary, Government House, Ilorin Kwara State, in our midst, in person of Al-Hajj Abdul Fattah Adebiyi. Al-Hajj Abdul Fattah, please say your salam to the general members.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
No more. We move to the next item. I don't know whether we have any special opening prayer. Pardon me. Let us pray, and we normally pray silently, by our tradition, by reciting Surah Al-Fatiha, followed by Darood, invoking blessings on the Holy Prophet Muhammad. And then we supplicate what we want from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Amen. The next item is goodwill messages. I don't know whether there's any special one. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We have two goodwill messages, one from renowned Professor Wallace Soyinka, and the second from His Royal Highness Oba Lamidi Oke JP Oladowe I, the Alayegun of Ode-Omuland. I will crave your indulgence to start from the one from Professor Wallace Soyinka. He says, goodwill message from Professor Wale Soyinka. Dear members of Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at, unfortunately, I have been on a lecture tour and am now in the United States of America. I won't be back until towards the end of the first week of January 2015. So, the visit also, that is to your conference, cannot also take place before December 27th, the day we have invited him to be here. He therefore says, maybe we can link up in January 2015, God willing. He goes on. Once again, my sincere regret on my inability to respond positively this year, with sincere hopes for an improved environment for our people in the coming year. There he stops and signs Wale Soyinka. The second one comes from, like I said earlier, His Royal Highness Oba Lamidi Oke JP Oladowe I, Alayegun of Ode-Omuland, Ode-Omu. Also, Giwa Adini of Osun State. He says, Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at, Ilaro State, Nigeria. Message from Oba Lamidi Oke, Alayegun of Ode-Omu, to the Ahmadiyya Conference, Ilaro, 2014, Ogun State. He says, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, in the name of Almighty Allah, I, Oba Al-Aji Lamidi Oke, Giwa Adini of Osun State, greet all participants in this year Ahmadiyya Conference. May Almighty Allah grant us eternity. My word of advice is of twofold. One, the Ahmadis are well known to possess more knowledge of Quran, and Ahmadis are known to be peace-loving people. Hence, I am using this occasion to request for prayer for peace in Nigeria and elsewhere in the world. He says, I give this challenge. Again, as good Muslims, the conference must not forget to pray to Almighty Allah to restore peace to Nigeria. A special appeal should be raised towards the so-called Boko Haram activities in Nigeria. The conference is hereby reminded to pray for the nation. I have another observation in your Islamic activities on air. In the past, Ahmadiyya program, either weekly or monthly program, the Ahmadiyya mission used to announce their prayer centers on the radio. When this program in the air started, Ahmadiyya Ode-Omu Prayer Center used to be announced along with other Ahmadiyya prayer centers in Osun State. To my surprise, the Ahmadiyya Ode-Omu Prayer Center is no more included whenever such prayer centers are announced on the radio. I am now informing the authority concerned to look at all possible ways in which Ahmadiyya or their Omu Prayer Center will be in the program with other prayer centers which are usually announced on the radio. I pray God that provides for other Ahmadiyya radio program will provide for all the Omu Ahmadiyya radio announcement program. Amen. In conclusion, though I'm not with you physically, but I join you in spirit, it is my prayer to Allah, it is my prayer to Allah that 2014 Ahmadiyya Conference will not be the end. It will continue to prosper in Allah's name. I am yours in Islam, His Royal Majesty Oba Lamidi Oke, Alayegun of Ode Omuland, Giwa Adini of Osun State. Dear Chairman, here I rest.
We now move to a major duty of the conference, acquisition of knowledge, just knowledge. The lecture 2 is to be delivered by Dr. Saeed Oluwatimi, entitled Politics, Social Justice, and Global Peace, the Dilemma of Religion. That's the main theme, the theme of the conference. Dr. Saeed, just 1 second. Dr. Said May is our National Public Secretary and a lecturer in the Department of Foreign Languages, Lagos State University.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر بسم الله على أنفسنا وديننا بسم الله على أهلنا وأموالنا بسم الله على كل شيء أعطانا ربنا بسم الله خير الأسماء بسم الله رب الأرض والسماء بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه داء بسم الله افتتحنا وعلى الله توكلنا الله ربنا لا نشرك به أحدا نسألك اللهم خيرك من خيرك الذي لا يطيع غيرك عز جارك وجل ثناؤك ولا إله إلا أنت اجعلنا في عيادك وجوارك من كل سوء ومن الشيطان الرجيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Dear Mr. Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at Nigeria, distinguished Naibian Amir, distinguished Imams, particularly the paramount Imam of Yewa land, Fadilat al-Sheikh Tajuddin Ad-Dawuni, all other protocols duly observed. I say that the peace and blessings of Allah be upon each and every one of us present here today. The topic of this lecture is politics, social justice, and world peace, the dilemma of religion. The multiplicity of attitudes and perceptions in the modern world and the constant flux in power politics and its appurtenances and their impact on global social order are truly disturbing to everyone who cares about the fate of the universe. The enthronement of new, sophisticated and globalized forms of feudal authority by so-called superpowers, as well as the internationalization of corruption and social injustice, has eroded an era of unprecedented security challenges the human history has ever witnessed. It is therefore necessary to engage in a moral and mental pilgrimage in order to understand the enormity of the challenges posed by the situation and prefer solutions. The topic of this lecture, Politics, Social Justice and World Peace, the Dilemma of Religion, has attracted a number of debates from several quarters. A journalist friend of mine, one of the esteemed members of that hallowed cult of wordsmithing, also wondered whether religion can ever be in dilemma. I, of course, pointed out to him that the proliferation of terrorist attacks, as well as the incidence of violence as a result of bad governance and social injustice, cut across the religious divide. The disconnect between religions' avowed claim of being the solution to human problems and actual human actions and experiences thus put religion and its teachings in the dock. Is it that religion's claims are false, or that man has misappropriated religious tenets in his conduct? This is the dilemma of religion. It, on the one hand, promotes peace and harmony, yet on the other hand, it is invoked to justify war and the worst kind of human rights violations. In the trajectory of human political theorization, man has been caught between two waves, one of political idealism and the other, political realism. According to political idealists, once colonial subjugation of weaker nations ends and an era of self-determination begins, peace and harmony will prevail in the world. The Manchester School holds that once free trade has replaced conflict-creating mercantilism, people will exchange goods in peace, and peace will prevail. President Woodrow Wilson of America maintains that once autocratic domestic systems are replaced by democracy, the people whose interest is in peace rather than in war will live in peace together. Karl Marx, in his own works, posited that once war-provoking capitalism yields to socialism, the classless societies that will emerge will live in peace and harmony. It is no longer news that all public expressions of all these theories have failed. What the world is witnessing in their wake is expansionist nationalism, disregarding the equal rights of other nationalities, or economic imperialism of the politically and economically stronger nations of the world, or conflict and wars even among democratic institutions. Political realists too have not fared better, even though they have not matched the ideological totalitarianism of the idealists. They have acknowledged the diversity of human societies and the multiplicity of cultural dimensions that should guide the formulation of policies within them. Yet, they have ignored the ethical dimension. With the failure of all human theories, therefore, we are challenged to locate religion into the interplay between politics and social justice and our good governance, and how the good governance that will naturally result therefrom translates into global peace. Social justice, meaning and scope. Generally, social justice is described as a system that guarantees the basic necessities of life to all individuals within a society without any kind of discrimination. The most common indices include fair distributions of resources, equal access to opportunities and rights, fair system of law and due process, ability to take up opportunities and exercise rights, protection of vulnerable and disadvantaged people. Recent history testifies to the fact that all the conflict-stricken regions of the world today have long histories of social injustice. There is indeed no place on earth where there is war or strife, where visible signs of social injustice had not been seen before the crisis. The ugliest forms of social injustice omnipresent in Nigeria today no doubt account for the various ethnic, communal, and religious crises in the country. Where access to the basic necessities of life is denied, violent actors will always be recruited easily. Niger Delta crisis and the current Boko Haram saga are typical examples, because man is a political animal, and apart from that, it is inextricably a part of man's nature that when he is taken care of, when the society takes care of him, he becomes a friend of the society. Students of political science understand very well the concept of social contract. We were told that there are two basic contracts between man and a society. You have the first social contract, which is called the Pactum Unionis, that is the pact of living together within a defined territory as citizens. But the strongest and most important social contract is the second social contract, which is called the Pactum Subjectionis. That is a pact of subjecting your authority to a group of people to rule over you. When they take care of you, you become a law-abiding citizen. When they don't take care of you, you become an enemy of that society. And that is why crime is referred to in psychology as antisocial act, anti-society. Man becomes an enemy of the society when the society does not take care of him. And that is why John Locke is reported to have said that every man is a potential criminal. A man is only law-abiding when the society takes care of him, when he's given the wherewithal to actualize his potential as a human being. But when the society does not take care of him, he turns against the society. And the Holy Prophet Muhammad has given us a very beautiful allegorical depiction of this phenomenon. The Prophet gave us the allegory of people traveling in a boat. He said, they cast lots among themselves. The lot of some picked the lower deck of the boat, and the lot of the others picked the upper deck and the lower deck. The Prophet said, for those who are in the lower deck, anytime they needed water, they tell those on the upper deck. You know, when you travel in a boat and it has a lower and upper deck, those at the lower deck will not see the water. It is only those on the upper deck that will see the water. So the Prophet said, those at the lower deck, anytime they needed water, they will tell those above them, and they will cast a bucket into the water and draw water for them. But if those at the top do not bring this water as at when due, or if the water they give them is not enough for them, those at the lower deck may be tempted to say, why do we have to disturb these people? After all, we are closer to water. Let's make a hole in this boat and draw the water ourselves. And the Prophet said, in fa'alu, when they do that, halaku jami'an, all of them will be destroyed. That is a simple portrayal of the social dynamics that control human society. Recent history, similarly, all of the countries affected by the Arab Spring have tales of social injustice preceding them, from Tunisia to Morocco to Egypt to even Bahrain to Syria. You discover that prior to the time all this crisis started, they have had very long histories of social injustice in those societies. I remember very well that in 2011, even in Saudi Arabia, the people of Saudi Arabia were about to react. You know, they wanted to respond to what was happening in the other Arab nations. They set aside one Friday, which they called Yawm al-Ghadab, the day of anger. But for the timely pragmatism of the rulers in Saudi Arabia, they quickly liberalized some institutions in the country to prevent them. They knew these things ought to have been there. All certain positions that have been reserved only for the members of the royal family were quickly, they made new appointments, and new people were appointed into offices, and they were able to down the tension. However, because in most of the Gulf states, because they are better off economically, you do not find this crisis there as you are in other parts of the Arab world. It is therefore not because America or any other country has penetrated their political system if they attempt to